Hello, my name is Kyle Fisher, and today I am presenting Lord of the Flies by William Golden. Carunian said, Lord of the Flies illustrates survival, bullying, hope, and tragedy by an exceptional writer, William Golden. Golden takes the reader on an adventure that leads to struggle for power and demonstration of human instincts. Snyder said, it is one of the most carefully structured novels I've read. Each chapter has a wonderful internal rise and fall, and the plotting and metaphoric shadings in the characterizations are amazing. What is Lord of the Flies about? The story takes place on an unknown island. A war was happening, and a group of schoolboys were on a plane evacuating from the area. Their plane was shot down, killing the pilot, although many young boys survived. The novel begins with the main character, Ralph, walking on the beach, and he meets Piggy. Piggy and Ralph discover a conch, which they use to call over all the young boys for a meeting. During the meeting, Ralph meets Jack, a leader of his school choir. Jack likes to bully Piggy because he is fat. Ralph is chosen as the leader of the group, but Ralph lets Jack be in charge of hunting for food. Ralph is constantly looking at how to escape the island alive and find help, while Jack just wants to hunt for meat. Each character's different goals end up creating a conflict. At a point, the two oldest boys of the group get into an argument and split ways, and Jack creates his own group. As the days go by, Ralph's group slowly joins Jack's group. Piggy and Ralph were the only two survivors left from their group. Jack's group constantly steals supplies from Piggy and Ralph and raids their shelter. They also stole Piggy's glasses, which leads to Piggy standing up to Jack. This leads to Jack killing Piggy. Jack almost kills Ralph as well, but is interrupted by a group of Marine soldiers who are able to find the kids so they can return home safely. The central issues. The biggest problem is that the boys must learn how to survive on an island and cooperate with each other. No adults are around, making it an issue to keep the young boys in control. Since no adults are around, the kids realize that they do not need to listen to any rules. This shows how humans can act when they do not follow rules. A new issue is created as kids slowly turn into savages. This causes kids to be killed and to create a war between who still believes in civilization. Central themes. Bullying leads to conflicts. Conflicts lead to splitting apart. Splitting apart leads to war. Not working it together and disagreeing with each other can ruin friendships, alliances, or even cause death. Lord of the Flies focuses on the main conflict between Jack and Ralph, which is savagery versus civilization. This conflict is created between a general idea: lack of teamwork. If Jack and Ralph worked together, this would not have happened. No kids would have been killed. Since Jack and everyone else slowly fell to becoming savages, they did not want to work with Ralph anymore because they were focused on hunting. Character developments. Character developments of Ralph. Ralph is a natural-born leader, determined to get work done and to survive on the island. His main goal is to escape the island by getting the military's attention. He represents civilization. He wants to live under rules so chaos isn't created. Ralph wants peace. At the start of the story, Ralph felt like he was in power, telling people what to do, and was very confident on surviving in the island. Feels like he can rule society and had hope for humanity. At the end of the story, Ralph lost all of his power to Jack. He lost all confidence on surviving the island and is trying not to die to Jack. When all the kids slowly fall to savagery, Ralph loses all hope in society and loses all confidence. Ralph wept for the end of innocence, the darkness of a man's heart. This can be found on page 290. This quote means that Ralph has lost all hope in humanity and has been seeing what cruel and violent things people can do. Character development of Piggy. Piggy is made fun of because of his weight. He is often bullied. He lets himself get pushed around at the start of the story, and he is never given the chance to speak. Piggy is a nice kid, but is too nice. This let him get pushed around and not be treated properly. At the start of the story, Piggy was a shy kid, and he was insecure about his weight. He does not like to be called Piggy. He lets people push him around, and he never gets a chance to speak. At the end of the story, Piggy gains courage to stand up for himself. He stops letting himself get pushed around as he talks back to Jack and the tribe. What can he do more than he has? I'll tell him what's what. You let me carry the conch, Ralph. I'll show him the one thing he hasn't got. This can be found on page 246. Piggy finally decides to stand up for himself at the end of the story. Jack took his glasses, so he gained the courage and confidence to ask Jack for his glasses. At first he was scared, but he gained confidence. Character development of Jack. Jack is jealous of Ralph being leader. He wants to be the leader of the whole group. His main goal is to get meat for people. He wants to be known as the hero of the group for getting food. He creates his own group against Ralph's group, representing savagery. He does not believe in rules. He is violent to get his way. He will kill. At the start of the story, Jack was a part of the civilization, agreed with rules, and was living in peace, although his main goal was to get meat. At the end of the story, his goal to get meat turned him into a savage. He creates his own group because he did not like living under rules. He will cause violence and will get to his way. He represents savagery. I'm not going to be a part of Ralph's lot. He looked along the right-hand logs, numbering the hunters that had been in a choir. I'm going off by myself. He can catch his own pigs. Anyone who wants to hunt when I do can come too. This can be found on page 183. This quote explains that Jack does not like living under rules and wants to live free. He wants to hunt and he does not want to be stopped by Ralph's rules. His goal for meat turned him into a savage. Jack versus Ralph. Jack represents savagery, while Ralph represents civilization. This conflict represents the theme of the book: lack of teamwork, causing savagery and civilization. Civilization means a society that lives under rules so chaos isn't created, creates peace and moral human beings. Savagery is when groups of people who don't live under rules become very tyrant. It becomes violent towards anyone. Will kill to get their way of rule. I agree with Ralph. We've got to have rules and obey them. After all, we're not savages. We're English. And the English are the best at everything. So we got to do what's the right things. This can be found on pages 258 and 259. Jack agrees with Ralph, saying that they should be civilized people and not become as savages. In the end, Jack had enough of the rules and decided to go against civilization. They create a war against Ralph between savagery and civilization. Eat, damn you. This can be found on page 104. Jack is telling the kids to eat the pig he killed so they can acknowledge that Jack killed a pig and gave them a lot of food to survive. Once all the kids listen to Jack, Jack realizes that he's controlling them and realizes he can be the leader of a new group, the the savages. This made Jack realize he can go to war with Ralph, as he is now against Ralph's civilization. Sharpen his stick at both ends. This can be found on page 196. Jack tells Roger to put the pig's head on a sharp stick. This is used to lure in the beast so they can kill the beast on the island. Later on in the story, Jack and Roger sharpen a second stick, making it possible to put another head on it. Since Ralph is the only person going against savagery, they might plan to kill Ralph and put his head on the stick to lure the beast. This is an example of savagery, as this is a very cruel and violent thing that could be done. What did the book teach? Lord of the Flies focuses on bullying and the behavior of kids when no adults are around to make them follow the rules. This book gives everybody a view on what savagery versus civilization can look like. This book teaches kids that if Jack and Ralph worked together, everything would have gone better, but instead, this was the end result. Overall, this book teaches kids about lack of teamwork, but it teaches older people that there is a dark side to every human being, that humans can be immoral if not following rules. Lack of teamwork in real life. Reports have detailed a massive communication error by William Osler, which failed to inform health authorities of some 700 positive novel coronavirus tests in Brampton and Etobicoke as far back as April. This represents lack of teamwork, just like the novel. Brampton's hospital did not report its COVID-19 positive cases to health authorities. This could allow more potential risk of spread of the virus. This could result in more cases of illness, deaths, and spread of the virus to all people, including highly vulnerable people who are more prone to dying from the virus. This lack of teamwork could ruin the trust and begin conflict between neighboring cities around Brampton and all of Ontario. Thanks for watching.